Christian, are you worried about the possible rise of protectionism? I don't know whether we go back to the fears of 12 months ago on some kind of global trade war, or whether we've moved past that.
It is one of the risks for 2018, but I think 2018 starts on a very positive note across many advanced economies. Growth is as strong as it has been for a very, very long time. We now have the tax cuts in the US coming in. We're very optimistic on US growth this year. Europe is firing on all cylinders. So growth is very strong. I think from an economic perspective, this year is the big question is, will the Phillips curve return? Will we see falling unemployment at record lows in many countries lead to higher wage growth and then to higher inflation that will then lead central banks to hike interest rates more than they already have? I think that is the big question. Will that link between unemployment and inflation come back?
Right. So are you concerned that the markets wouldn't be ready? So let's say that, consensus seems to me about, 3 interest rate rises from the Fed. What happens if we get more? If there are 25 basis points, does it really make that much of a difference?
Well, the hikes is one question, but if you look at the yield curve in particular, I think that's one of the big discussions at the end of last year. If you look at the yield curve in the US, the short end, because of the Fed hikes, already quite high. The long end not responding, and thus the yield curve flattening. That is normally a pretty good indicator of recessions ahead. It has been in the past. We analysed this in a paper. Of course, this is just market expectations. There's no economic link between these two, but that is going to be the big debate. If we do get more upside surprises on inflation, that should lead to the long end of the curve going up and a steepening, in fact, of the curve. We don't expect that. We are still very cautious on this Phillips curve relationship. We see very gradual increases in inflation, in underlying inflation in particular, throughout 2018. But again, that should give central banks some comfort.